Welcome to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. This is your boy DeAndre. We talk life, love, and business.
What the hell was that little sassy ass?
It's not sassy, first off.
I didn't like it.
Introduce yourself.
Don't tell me what to do. Hi, Booze, it's me.
Your name?
Be fucking for real. This is the way I introduce myself every episode.
Well, what's your name? It's me. It's not your name. So it's me.
Big Mama. Where's my lip gloss?
That's crazy. Kenesha.
And we have a guest on the show. We have the lovely, talented Miss Shavaughn from the Comfy Couch.
Hello.
I feel like we got to have the Comfy Couch something at the end of it.
LLC. One.
Right, it has something. What do you want
We
it
got to
to be?
get you a podcast.
I'm working on it. I'm working.
Yeah, we do. We
I'm
got to
working
get you a
on
podcast.
Maybe it's the Comfy Couch Talk.
It's couch time.
Oh, couch
Couch
time.
We gonna get to that though. We gonna get to that. Just hold your questions.
Oh, help me.
I have a question though. Are you guys aware of this new tip culture that's going on?
What is
it called?
tip
What is
culture?
tip culture?
Tipping. When you tip a waitress or whatever the case may be. But now the tip culture is that everyone is asking for a tip. You go into a store now and they ask you if you want a tip. You want to leave a tip? You go through a fast food line. A lot of fast food places are now adding a tip. Do you want a tip?
Why?
Gas station. You go in for gas or you get something. Do you want to leave a tip there?
I would never.
This is the new tip culture that's taking. Have you got y'all ain't hip?
No.
Or have y'all not been paying attention?
I recognize it, but I always
haven't
hit
been-
no so fast.
I don't think I paid attention until you just said that.
Yeah.
Because like going back in my mind, I'm like, I do see tip jars at the counter and stuff like
It's
that.
popping up everywhere now.
But I never paid attention.
Everywhere
to
where
stuff
you
like
would
that.
never ever think to even leave a tip, they're now asking for a tip.
It's 'cause of
How y'all
taxes.
feel about that?
Taxes.
Yeah, they want a tip.
I hit no so fast I don't even think about it.
I'm probably not
They
going to
be
give
like,
it.
"Do you want to donate to St. Jude's?" No.
I do say no to that.
You do.
Do you want to donate to hunger?
Do you want to round up?
Nah.
No.
You don't be feeling guilty?
No. Not at all. Ronald McDonald? No.
I was at an Auntie Anne's when I first seen it, and they was like, "Do you want a tip?" And I was like, "Why?" And she just kind of looked, and I'm just like, I ordered it. It took me 10 seconds, and then y'all about to hand me a pretzel that's already sitting here. What am I about to tip
Yeah,
for?
stuff like that, I'm not tipping. Like,
Yeah,
wait,
no.
you did your job. I'm not doing that.
That's what but see, you know what they can do with that, right? Is they tip, if they allow tips and they split it, now they can lower the wage hourly.
So let's help them and not tip.
Help them and not tip.
Don't listen to them because we don't know. We don't know if that's the real reason.
No,
why.
the waitresses make below minimum wage.
Yeah, but these ain't waitresses that we're talking about.
But they're allowing tipping. It's all tax purposes.
And you know what's crazy? Because y'all know at my bartending job, they just told us recently that we have to start reporting our tips.
The cash ones and we
I don't know about the
ain't
cash
gonna
ones.
get in trouble. The credit card
But yeah,
ones
they
for
making
sure.
us try to fill out a form every month. Talk about it's a new law in Ohio.
I believe it.
So yeah, there's that. I ain't do it yet though.
Yeah, because that's what they were used to do.
I'm trying to figure out if I want to do it.
Cats be like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. When I was waitressing, I made $5.15 an hour, and then I got my tips.
If I'm not mistaken, the servers, well, at least like where I work, they still make $5, and then but they tips be busting.
But the tips be bussing. Usually, if a establishment has tips, the wage is lower. So if I go to Auntie Annie's and you want me to tip you the extra $2, you're going to take that $5.15.
Auntie Anne's.
Auntie Anne's, ain't that what it's called?
You say Annie's.
Whatever that heifer name is with the pretzels and the cheese. Whatever her name is, they're going to accept that $5.15 an hour.
Huh?
I said whatever.
Miss Shavaughn, tell us about the Comfy Couch. Okay, what is it about? How did it come about? What made you do it? Like, tell us about yourself first. I'm sorry. Let's start there. Tell us about yourself, and then go into where the Comfy Couch came
That's
from.
so funny.
where
When
it
you
came from.
said, tell us about yourself, I tell my clients not to start with anybody that's outside of them. And I immediately thought about my little chocolate one. I was like, I'm a mom first.
That's deep.
I know, right? I don't know. I just love motherhood. Well, I'm a mom of an adorable 5-year-old. I love her little chocolate self. She's so full of life. And that's it. No, the Comfy Couch is a faith-based. It's a faith-based counseling organization.
And we just had you on all type of foolery on that last episode.
And we go straight into being serious.
Because it is joking.
But
I'm a
the
victim.
lack of mental health that I seen just growing up and in my household.
Yeah.
If we just gonna be serious, like in my household, as I got older, I started to realize in the real world as an adult, I'm dysfunctional. It's a lot of things that, and I'm not trying to say that everybody is normal, but it's just a certain plateau of things that you be like, okay, this is cool. This is how you are supposed to act in civilization. Not be all angry and crazy and doing all of this other wayward stuff. Like, that's weird. To me, it wasn't weird because that's what I was used to. That's how I was bred, right? So when I started to go to school and to be social, I'm like, oh, that's normal to not always argue. That's normal to not always want to fight. Because out of my sisters, I'm the fighter. You would never know that, right? You would never know because God snatched me up because he knew I was going to be in jail for busting heads open.
Wow.
You would never know.
Isn't it just the three of you?
It's 5 of us. So 2 older brothers, but my eldest brother, he committed suicide. So that was another precedent point for the Comfy Couch because he would do tidbits. He would get on his phone at work and he would be spitting some fire knowledge for his generation. And I would be like, they need to hear this from a black man that's struggling with his mental health, that's still encouraging somebody. So once that happened, I'm like, God, can I pick up his torch? It's necessary. Because in some moments, you just don't realize who's struggling.
Yeah.
Because we mask it, and we do a really good job, especially the black, brown community. Because we're ingrained like that. Like, you just take a licking and you keep on ticking. You don't sit down and talk to anybody. So once he did that, I had to stop and be like, I don't know much about mental health because we were raised in dysfunction. You know what I mean? So I went, and I'm like, okay, well, I did go to school for psych. Isn't that crazy? In my classes, I never paid attention. I was just going through it just to get the degree and whatever. And I can get in this field and help people, but I really never took it seriously until my brother did that. So I'm like, well, dang, this is a real thing. Like childhood trauma, adolescence, teenage years, young adulthood, you're carrying all of this weight and nobody said anything to you, like deep within your soul to penetrate you. And then the moment we go get help, so sorry, clear community, but they just want to check.
Clear. I like that.
They just want to check.
Yeah.
I worked in a psych facility. Those people just took checks for those innocent souls, for suicidal people that are in there because they tried to kill themselves. They were just worried about if they had Medicare or Medicaid. Nobody really took the time to go to the floor and say, can I pray with you? Not that you got to always be spiritual. That's just me. But do you really want to talk today? Are you really good? Are you really going to have this conversation with me about why you're hurting? I know it's not just because you lost $5. Like, what really happened? And as I would get on the floor to talk to people, they would just naturally open up and be like, yeah, my life, my dad did this, my mom did that, my sister, she left me. And I would be like, okay, it's something to this. Yeah. We need to start having these conversations about what's really good and what's really going on behind the scenes because it's really jacking us up. So out of that, I birthed, through God's grace, the Comfy Couch. Because we need soul healing.
Yeah.
Healing for our soul, not just our mentality, but we really need to get to those deep things that's making us hurt out here and make bad decisions and be acting all crazy like I used to be. Thank you that I'm not.
So what's been the most healing thing for you since you started the Comfy Couch?
I have learned that it's not just for other people, if that makes sense. When I have my clients, I actually learn from them. So when they're telling me their story and when we're going through our session, I'm like, dang, that was me. You're not finished yet. You still got work to do right there. Because I'll get them through it, and I'm like, God, I'm not over that hump in my life. Like, she just triggered something. Oh, he said something that triggered me, and I'm like, well, what am I going to say? I don't want to be hypocritical. Mm-hmm. But I get them through the moment, and then I take what their strength is. And like, you endure, let me see if I can do it. So it's therapeutic for me to hear other people. And when I get the emulation of us being the same, it's like, okay, you're not alone.
Yeah.
It's that moment of knowing that somebody else's situation is a little worse than yours. So those moments when you were down and you thought that you were just suffering by yourself, you really weren't.
That's good stuff. Do you interview people on a Comfy Couch, or is it just strictly one-on-one right now, or you to the audience?
It's just me to the audience. So sometimes I'll bring in friends and stuff like, hey, I need a break. Can you come and take over for a week straight and do little tidbits for me? So it just depends on if I got enough energy, but it's just strictly me to the audience right now.
Okay.
Do you have like people like write in, or?
No, it's just me.
So you just have a topic. So you kind of do got like a podcast low key.
I do, but I haven't actually sat. I'm being lazy. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah, we just need to sit down and make that happen then.
I was being lazy.
Yeah.
I have everything in order. Somebody blessed me with what's that called? What's your artwork?
Trademark?
No.
Logo?
Thank you. Bless me with the logo. I got my little brother. He got the intro music, outro, everything is set. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be in front of the camera.
You just do it on your
I hate
voice.
how I sound. Praise God. I just don't want to do it. But it's been so many people like, no, for real, you need to sit down and have this conversation on camera because we need it. And I'm like, sure. Never. You get these 1 minute and 30 seconds reels on Facebook, and that's all I can do.
That you do with a camera.
That's all I can give you.
Listening to your
That
own
you
voice.
do with a camera.
I thought your voice was very soothing.
Will encourage me.
That you do with a camera.
I know.
And then
it's
you
so
post it on
backwards.
social media
It's so
for the world to see and hear.
Not her pulling it up.
But you said you don't like the way you sound.
I don't like, even when I'm doing my little tidbits, I be like,
Take you a million takes.
it takes me like 30 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, hang on, so I'm doing it
I
again.
thought your voice was kind of therapeutic.
But you know how everybody probably feels about their own voice. I think I sound like a cartoon character.
See, I think I saw
I'm gonna keep my
was
comments.
heavy.
Or man. No, like some days it'd be like
I
manly,
sound like I do.
like real
I feel
heavy.
like I do sound like heavy.
Real heavy.
Yeah, like I got balls or something. Because that's what it be sounding like. Like I got some balls down here.
I be in there like, dang, you could have picked it up
No,
a
for
couple of
real.
octaves, girl.
Yeah.
and I think I'd be too high. Nasally. I don't like it. Thank you. I'm not complaining, God, or nothing, but it's just weird to hear the playback. So I'd be like,
You too high.
I just don't listen
she
to the
funky,
playback.
you heavy. It sound like you got balls.
Yeah.
Speaking of balls, listen. I need to ask y'all a serious question, right? And
About
because I want y'all.
balls.
Well, no, not
Transition.
well, yes and no, kind of. So I want to hear, because I feel like I always hear the opinions from she says clear, peach, white women about
just
this
straight out the
particular
gate.
topic, but I don't see, and it could be a lot of different opinions out there from black and brown women, but I just haven't heard them. But what is your opinion when it comes to this, especially this? I just heard this new term, the cis woman, or the cis. Am I saying it right? So it's basically
We are the cis women.
oh,
I don't know what
Yes.
that
I
means.
didn't
So
know. I
from
was
the
like, what is
trans
that?
community, we are cis women.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly what the
Like I'm
cis
your
is
sister?
about, but like
I
us
read it, but I forgot
biological
the- hold on, let
women,
me
they
see.
refer
Like
to as
sister?
no CIS. They refer to us as cis women. So are you talking about the whole period thing that's going around right now? From the
Just in
transgender?
general, but yes, that as well.
Y'all seen
But
it?
I
Right.
have
So
no
there was a
idea.
video that resurfaced. I actually heard that the video was actually older. It was a transgender. Is a transgender, and I'm only stopping there because I don't know the correct term. If it's male to female, well, I'm assuming male to female.
Okay.
So is that called a trans female or a trans male? I'm just gonna say transgender,
Transgender.
because I'm ignorant in that area, and I don't want to offend anybody. But they were like making a video about like, why do cis women think that they own womanhood and you don't own a period? And my whole take on it is like, first off, I don't even want the period.
Why do you want to bleed?
I don't even want the
take it.
period. You can have it, but it's
That's
like,
how you know-
I feel like
that's how you
sometimes
know
they
it's
attack
evidence.
biological women because they want to become or they want to be a woman. So it's like, you, even with the whole like the tampon thing or whatever, they were taking the female sign off of it. The freaking bathrooms and stuff, they're taking certain signs off of it. They're taking women off of it. It's just like, why are we as women under attack?
Right.
I feel like.
Yes.
Like, you want a period, you want ovaries, you want
To give birth.
You
but it's
desire
like
to be
some
just like us.
yes, and
but
by
are
all means,
condemning.
if that do what it is that makes you feel comfortable, but there comes a point where it's like a line has to be drawn. There, like physiologically, you can't do these things. You can't have a period. You don't have the proper inside work to have a period. And first off, Miss Girl or Miss Guy, Mr. Guy, I don't want the period I do get. So I'm not gonna fight you
That's how you
for
know
a
it's a
period.
real
I don't
woman.
want it. So why do you
how you
what
know.
do you feel like you having a period is like proving, oh, I'm a woman now? Because even still, like, it's not. You are not going to get a period. So I don't know. It's just like a whole thing that was just like going on social media recently with like cis women. I feel like low key being under
did not
attack
know that. I'm so
for
ignorant in that
things that
area.
we go through
Wow.
as women biologically and things that our body does that theirs can't. And they're like, well, you guys don't own this. You don't own womanhood. You don't own periods.
I mean, how can you own something that you are? I'm a woman. I'm just a woman. I'm sorry. Do I own me as a woman? For sure.
Yeah.
But am I going to set the determinations of being a woman? No, science did. The fact that I have a vagina and you have a penis is what made me a woman and made you a man. So,
Well, they try to make it scientific. They try to go to biology, this, and like biology does not matter. It's pretty much what it is, and they're trying to make it so that it's whatever my mindset is versus what you see. And then it was basically this guy, this white guy. He says, "Well, I'm the first African American woman to do something." It was up in one of the
Wait, you said it
the
was a
smaller
white
states.
guy
It was a
that
white
said
guy.
he's
He was
the-
proving a point though. He
Oh, yeah, I
says,
remember. I
you
seen
see
that. I seen
I'm,
that.
he says, well, I'm officially identifying as an African American woman,
yeah,
and
he
because of my job title, I'm the very first African American
That's what he
woman
did.
and the first African American to ever hold this title in this position at this company or
Yes, he
whatever the case
did.
may be. And the dude was like, who was interviewing, "Are you serious?" He said, "Oh, I'm dead serious." "Well, you can't do that." He said,
Why can't I?
"Well, why can't they? You just said that he can identify as a woman. Why can't I identify as an African? Because you don't look that way." "Yeah, but he doesn't either."
Yeah.
So you're just proving a point where there's so many lines that are crossed and so many hypocritical things that once they, the community comes for regular folk, it's like, okay, well, if you're allowed to say and do that, then so are we. So do you ladies, as women, feel like you're constantly under attack
Just leave me alone.
as a woman? Or do you just not care?
I don't care.
could
I mean,
care
I
less.
personally, I don't care because it directly doesn't affect me. Like, you are going off on a tangent, yelling at your phone on social media about a period. Like, when we really break down the logistics of it, you sound insane. Like, you literally sound insane.
'Cause you wanna
Being born a man who has done whatever process to become a woman, but knowing that when it all comes down to it, you do not have the female makeup to do certain things. And can they give someone ovaries, or can they give them a?
No.
Oh, I was just making sure. Like, you never can. I was just making sure. Science has come a long
I'm
way.
about to say, because at this
You
point,
never will
they about
be
to
able
start
to do
snatching
this,
uteruses out
but
of
you pull your
13-year-old.
phone out, make a video, yell at it, attack cis women, and tell us we don't own womanhood and we don't own periods, when I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, any woman you ask is not trying to hold on to no period. This isn't a blast that we have every month. Now, everybody do be excited to get it if you did some stuff you wasn't supposed to be doing, and it's like a yes.
Like, yeah,
But
come
outside of
on.
that, nobody is like, yes, my period is coming. Like, we don't want this. So it's like I do sometimes feel like it is an attack, but I don't really care about it because it's not directing me I'm not directly affected by it. I do feel like there's a lot going on, and there's a lot that it's like, y'all are really doing a lot. Like trying to like low key
Prove.
even outside of proof, it's like you want to take everything.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
have a
literally
little bit?
taking the female symbol off of tampons is insane. These are for women. Like these are for women with vaginas. With what am I trying to say that's
This
in
is valid
there?
uterus.
Uterus.
So uterus.
Just think of the urticaria.
Stop it. I was under attack this morning. Making me itch again. Anywho, I don't know. I do feel like they do a lot. And it's just like,
Just leave me alone.
just relax a little bit. Like you don't even know how hard it is to be a woman. Like
You wanna know?
this is hard.
This is when I knew it was too far. I was at work, you know, the one I quit. And
Oh my God.
there was this big debate because it was a group of women who wanted to be considered a cat.
I'm sorry, what?
They
Child.
wanted to be considered a cat. So in the women's restroom,
They bring in litter boxes.
they wanted a litter box for them to use the bathroom in the litter box.
This generation in this day and age of society has made any and everything acceptable except to be
Did you
black.
know that there's 75 different genders now?
Yes, I
I think
read
it's over
that.
100 now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Different
I just read
genders.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genders.
Identifications, all that.
How you can
But I'm
identify.
trying to figure out, like, even if you identify as a cat, cats only are male and female.
Well,
Do you-
I'm about to start
I
identifying
mean,
as a rich, wealthy white man
that's
and
what
see
I
how far
said.
that's getting
That's
me.
what somebody
Listen,
else said,
that's
too.
what I'm
Give
gonna
me my-
identify.
credit.
Because
Like,
this is crazy.
It doesn't say decline
Do you
because
guys
I'm
know
rich.
what,
I identify as a rich man.
You guys know what chocolate identifies as?
Who's chocolate? You?
I'm just saying, do you know?
I was about to
Who
say
are
the
we
same
talking
thing,
about?
Do you know what chocolate identifies as?
No.
Hershey.
I don't get it.
Hershey. Never mind.
You thought you ate that up, huh?
I'm about to start.
Y'all just slow. I'm gonna just attribute to that. Y'all just slow. You know, Hershey.
You thought you ate that up.
Hershey. Anyway.
Don't say that because then Hershey's about to have to change their name because it's offensive. You know,
That's probably
I'm trying to
true.
figure out. And then you think about it, they got rid of Aunt Jemima, they got rid of freaking Uncle Ben, but why we still got Cracker Barrel?
I feel like they only got rid of Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima just as like, well, since we
they
getting rid
were
of stuff for the
slaves.
Indians and the LGBTs and all that.
But we didn't ask
let's
for that. We was okay
that's
buying
what,
Uncle.
That's what I'm saying.
If it
So
was
they like, hey,
offensive, why didn't you
so it's
ask
like,
us? Why
Let's take
didn't you
this away
ask us?
just in case they ask us for something because we don't never do nothing for them
I don't.
anyways.
The Indians was fine. I didn't think they found it offensive. Why didn't they come ask the nationality that it was? Were you offended by Uncle Ben?
No, I thought
Did
you had
Auntie
good race.
Jemima? Did she?
The
did she
taste
not
of
do
it, that's
her
about it.
Now I got to say that big old word.
Did you like the taste?
What is the new Uncle Ben?
Uncle Ben?
I don't know.
It's just Ben.
Ben's rice?
I think it was more so the logo.
The logo.
Than the,
So it's just
than the
still
name.
Uncle
It's
Ben's.
just, but it's
Yeah.
the, they
What
got
is
rid of
Aunt Jemima now?
milling
lumber
company or
company or
something.
something.
It's something weird.
Oh no!
It's something weird.
Could you imagine
Miners or
saying, I'm going to still call it Aunt Jemima.
Something milling company.
Milling Company.
Yeah, it's weird.
Lumberjack.
And the Indians are now the Guardians.
My God,
Correct.
today.
What did the Chiefs get changed to?
The Chiefs.
the Chiefs are
You
still
mean
the
the
Chiefs. The
Redskins.
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 So they're just the commanders now. But they
Commanders?
just filed. I see. Well, no, a petition is going around for them to go back to the Redskins, though.
Why did they change it in the
They
first?
need to-
Whose idea was it when they were just like, you know what? We're at the round table. We change. Watch me shake this shit up. Like, whose idea was it to go in? Like, start.
I'm trying to
changing
figure
stuff?
out why we have not changed Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel, it start off with cracker.
This Joker.
We're offended
Who
that
is?
I have to say cracker.
As long as you keep
in
making
front
them
of my
pancakes with them
barrel.
crispy edges, I'm all good.
I don't want to have to say Cracker Barrel bring a friend. I don't
No.
want to say that.
Friend, I ain't offended by the Cracker Barrel name. I do feel like a slave every time I go in there, but them pancakes be busted.
It's probably us back there making it.
I did see something online. I really don't know how true it is. I hope it's not true at all that they have like a signal, like
Oh yeah, I see.
the
that.
servers and stuff when black people
Yeah.
come in.
And they call you. I can't remember what the word was. They call something. And the black somebody that was working there was black, and they caught on to it. I can't remember what it was. No, it wasn't that.
No, it's not. It's
Negroes
like
are coming. The
something
Negroes
that's
are
not
coming.
obvious.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. But I'm still going to get them pancakes though.
I don't like
Pancake
pancakes.
slap.
We're not gonna go there. But that's how I usually know. That's how you can differentiate a woman and the transgender. Ask them which one wants a period. Because women don't really want the periods. Take it.
I was just wondering, just from a mental standpoint, did you come across any of this at any point in time?
I do. So it doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I know that there's something underneath that they're dealing with. Because if you go out and take a poll, do a little survey, and if you start asking these really deep-rooted questions, have your family suffered from mental illness?
Yeah.
Have you experienced anything traumatic in any stage of your life? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be yes. It comes down the pipeline. So if they haven't experienced it, grandma did it, papa, somebody in your family has had something.
Yeah.
Pass it down, or you just woke up and was like, I'm going to be a little off today. But it's still something underneath that. So in mental health, you just always know.
Yeah.
You just always know that there's something underneath that.
We're going to interview the Comfy Couch guys, okay? Gather your questions. If you could take the Comfy Couch and turn it into anything in the world, what would it be right now?
Right now, because of what I experienced this weekend, it would be definitely something to help homeless people. Going back home, I seen a lot of things. Now, when I lived in Arkansas, I was a kid, so I really wasn't paying attention too much. But as I got older and hearing my family, they would always be like, you will always take your shoes off, and somebody walking down the street, you would try to give it to them when you were a kid. And I'm like, I never did that. I did? Me? The evil one? And then growing up, looking at what I'm doing now, I'm like, my heart is for people that are absolutely without housing. Like, it was so hot out there, y'all, and it was people just sleeping under trees. A man walked up to me and my mom, and was like, can I just get a drink of water? Didn't ask for money, didn't try to solicit nothing. He was like, I just need water. And you could tell he was homeless. And by God's grace, we figured out, we was like, oh, we got this juice in the back. He circled back around, and we caught him on the way to the hospital. And I was like, here.
He circled back around?
It was the way that he was on a bike and we were in the car. So we didn't know that we had something in the car. And I was like, we found something. We got to go find them, mama. We got to find them. He went if he went right, we went left to get to the hospital where my sibling was. But by God's grace, he circled back around and we met literally at an intersection. And I was like, here's the water.
Toppins.
Here's Toppins, the bag. Yeah. Here. And he was, the graciousness and the thankfulness that was in his face, it was like, oh my God, like they found me to give me some water. That's enough. Like that probably made that man's whole year.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be building up the homeless community, because for me, because of what I experienced this week, and I can't divulge everything for safety reasons, so that's why I'm saying it the way I am. Just because of what I experienced, it's a lack of care and a lack of not being grateful for us, for people that have 2 eyes, digits, fingers, toes. We got houses, cars. We may not be where we desire to be or what we see, but we do have something. They absolutely have nothing. And some of these people are millionaires. Just had a bad break, made one bad decision, lost their job, and we don't treat them the same way. So it would definitely be the homeless community.
That's good. Go ahead.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Picture of Sicily, 1942. Okay.
What I say?
You ready?
Yes.
You ready?
I am.
All right. Okay. Out of everybody, because I know you have a confidentiality thing. Out of everyone, if you was to give it like out of 100%, what is the one thing that you can say America is dealing with collectively?
That is a really good question.
The main thing.
Oh, the main thing, I would say, let's see, being professional. So it's actually 2 things, and I'll do one general for male and female, and then one particularly for females. For male and female, it's depression. Depression. Definitely depression. I get a lot of clients that just are extremely sad, but have to cope and mask themselves and go out and be mommy and daddy and sister and brother and carry the load. But inside, they absolutely have no idea who they are or what their purpose is or what they're supposed to be doing. And it makes them depressed, and it withdraws them, and it condemns their life to just be a recluse and just sit at home. For females, I would say abortions.
Wow.
Dealing with, and that's why I'm saying it, because I want to open up people's mindset about it. Females dealing with having abortions has really punctured a lot of mental health. Because even if you felt the need in that moment to make the right decision about not having the baby, it takes a toll on you in the end. So that pain, it comes back to, it nips at you and it bites you in the butt. And it's something that I really, really have to pull my clients through about dealing with, because it's hurtful. And not only, great book, I forgot who it's by, but The Body Keeps the Score. So you may have went and had the procedure because of you and dad's decision, et cetera, or just because you can't financially, whatever it was, whatever you needed to do, your body still holds that weight of the baby. And you feel that. And I know, like, it's been proven scientifically that when we carry our children, it's still, you know, the stem cells, so we still carry them even after birth. So that residual effect, psychologically and physical, is still in there. So it's moments when they feel like, oh my God, I can feel my baby kicking. That phantom pregnancy, that's a real thing. And sitting and hearing their conversations, I'm like, and then I have to, sometimes you have to, like, you really have to be careful, because when you're in psych and mental health, you really dabble over into the medical field. And thanks to my apostle, he was like, you need to get a Merrick manual. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Why? He was like, no, because if you study what the medical doctors study, you'll be able to match that in spirit, because I do spiritual counseling about what their body is doing. So when I'm talking to them and having conversations, I can hit the list and be like, are you feeling this symptom? Okay, well, let's go here for your tool. Are you feeling this? Let's go here for your tool, because they still have to, they got to work it out. You have to work it out of your body, not just in your emotions and your mind. You really have to get it everywhere. And it's hard. It's hard. I literally just had a client, a year later, we haven't talked, and she came back and she was like, I'm bothered. I'm like, it's just like it happened yesterday. It's still fresh. I'm like, yeah, gotta be careful. But abortions for women is definitely a thing. Or even having a sibling that has had to have an abortion, like just being that partner, being that support system, it's excruciating, because we don't ever think about the other person that's helping us through our pain. We just like, I'm glad you're here. Thank you. You didn't let me do it by myself. And they going behind the scenes every time you sleep, busting in tears, because they may not have agreed with your decision, or they don't want to see you in pain like that. So, yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't think that was what it was. I thought you was going to say rape for women.
Some sort of sexual assault.
It was going to be something like that.
So how do you find the balance from, because what?
First off, it was my question turn, and you're kind of stealing my question.
Your question turn. That's crazy.
Thanks.
Her question turn. Go ahead.
So, as a Black woman, and all of the things that, like, we go through, the struggle of being a Black woman, and then you also are tackling mental health. How do you keep a balance between handling your own mental health and not allowing it to spill over into your clients' sessions, or not taking on your clients' issues or problems and letting it spill over into
Why'd
your
you have to
life?
ask that? I have a very, very hard time with balance. I take everything so personally, especially when I'm working one-on-one with somebody, and this is their life that they're divulging. There's some things that you can't go tell family, right? So you're trusting me with all of these secrets, and I have a problem with letting them go. Because I'm like, oh God, if they could just use this tool to help better themselves, they would be better. They get it. And sometimes it's not as quick as I know it could be for them. It's a process. So I literally just pray through it. I had a mentor come to me and she was like, you really just got to let it go. And I'm like, I can't. This is somebody's life that's falling apart. Like, I just got to help her. I got to help him. Like, I don't want to. She's like, no, you got to trust that what you're saying is really, really therapeutic. It's really helping. It's not hurting. It's not taking away from them. It's adding to them. And what do you want to do? You want to add value to somebody's life so that they can see themselves. Mm-hmm. So take what they give you, give it to the big man upstairs, and then you got to let it go. Because what I found that I was doing, I would get out my sessions and I would just be so in a stupor, just slumped over, not having enough energy to take care of my little one. And she don't deserve that. Mm-hmm. She deserves mommy in high functioning energy, the best mental me, the best physical me that she can have because she's innocent. And I would notice like, oh, we're not going to the park as much because I'm over here ruminating about what I just heard. Oh, we're not going over here today. Mommy's tired. Oh, family functions. Fat, you coming? That's my nickname. Oh, y'all go ahead. I got something to do. And I would just be like, oh, I'm lying. I'm just crying. I'm just crying it out. I ain't got nothing to do but cry because I just heard that she wanted to hurt herself.
I'm going to cry for the little boy.
Like, literally, when you get those phone calls of somebody saying, I'm about to take I got this gun in my house. I'm about to hurt myself. And I'm like,
That's a lot. Oh my gosh. I feel like I can talk to people, but being able to talk a person
what do you do
through a suicide attempt?
What do you do?
What do you say? No, don't do it.
What do you say? That panic. Because in my immediate family, I'm the panicker. So I'm like, what are you doing? I'm making it worse. But with other people, I'm so calm. I'm like, okay, do you want me to come over? Like, how are you feeling? What happened? Were you triggered? What environment were you? And it works. And I'd be shocked sometimes, like, okay. That's why I give all credit to God, because I'm like, it's nothing that Shavaughn is saying or doing, because school is perfect. But if you don't have the people and interpersonal skills to save but this is real people's lives at stake. And I'm like, Lord, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. And I would take those moments and I would just cradle them like a little teddy bear and just pray over them and cry and travail. And I got convicted because in prayer, the Holy Spirit was like, do you trust me? Right. And I said, I don't think I do. Being honest, I don't think I trust you enough to handle this other person's problem. Right. I don't. But didn't I handle yours? And I said, whoop, shut me up.
Yes.
Because you did. Because I've seen how you've helped me make it over. Not even me, like my sibling shot himself in the head. And my mother is still alive after that. After having almost 3 open heart surgeries. She's still giving thanks and giving praise. And I'm like, you a strong one, because take me out. So many other things, just for safety reasons that I can't talk about, that I've seen you pull me through. So if I trust you to do it for me, I have to learn how to trust you to do it for somebody else, because their victory is going to be so much greater than mine. So sometimes you just have to learn how not to be so selfish and be like, okay, I'm your footstool, because I need you to excel past what you see. Thank you that you trust me with your life. I appreciate that, but be better than me. You know what I mean? And not a lot of counselors can actually sit there and do that, because they'll sit there and judge you. You're crazy. I'm going to put you on medication because I know if I don't, you're going to go out here and do something stupid. Some people will actually say that, and then you leaving me to really just feel like I'm nothing. Not push me to be better. Hey, you can go get your counseling degree. I can see that when you talk to me, you're really good at calming people down. Have you ever considered this? Nobody will do that in my profession. It's only a few of us that will actually be like, okay, you could be better than me. You got this. We're going to get you through this little hump, and we're going to push you on your way to be better, because God makes us to be like that. He hasn't created us to be dormant, right? And to be tortured. And I like to always tell my clients, we have to change our view about who really God is, because we've been taught in religion that he's this big, ugly God that as soon as you sin, you're going to hell. That's not true. Grace and mercy is a thing for a reason. And when you really are in the depths of despair, like I have been, you will really learn, like, he didn't have to do it, but he did. And if he did it for me, I definitely know he could do it for you, because I'm jacked up for real. Like, for real, mentally unsound. But because of him and because of what I believe and what I've been taught and what's been instilled into me, if he can take this little crazy fighting one, this little feisty one, and be like, here, speak what I say and encourage somebody. Oh, my God. What can he do for you?
In your name, can you please help the other one that got the same name as you? Please tell God on behalf of her that she is in need of some help. I know, right? That's
of
why
what?
we need. Huh?
Of what?
You need delivered.
From what?
I got a question.
So I hear the. Oh, okay.
Go ahead, friend.
I was trying to get the answer to the
So,
list.
That's crazy.
so we see and we hear the passion
I like you.
that you
Always room
have.
for improvement.
I mean, we could be better though.
You cute.
heard her
That's why
say
I said
that.
thank you.
cute.
That's why I said it's always room
What
for
do cute got to
improvement.
do
You
with it?
smart.
Yep.
You's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You smart.
You said it twice. I'm real smart.
All right,
You's
Viola.
important.
So we hear the passion and we see all this, right? Which is great because we don't always hear and see that from people in this profession.
Ugh.
So on a personal side, what do you do? Like, what's your vice? Like, how do you unwind? How do you, because, we pray, right? But along with prayer comes action. So after you give it away and give it to God, then now it's up to you to do something so that you can now
Decompress.
not only decompress, but especially when you go to the little one, you got to go to a happy place now. So, like, what do you do to get to a point of like happiness without dwelling over there with all of the craziness, right? And second part to that is, how much time away from that
Oh, God.
do you take
That is
so
a good
that you're
question.
not
Why are those
constantly
good questions?
We want the
I have a
answer.
good question.
We want the answer.
So for the first part, African movies on Netflix. Netflix, if you want to do something
What's the
with the Comfy
code?
Couch, I'm here for that. I'm open. I was sponsor me. African movies on Netflix.
You like those?
Oh my gosh, Prime is now Prime Video too. They're starting to get the African movie. Oh my gosh,
Beyond the Tyler Perry-ness.
beyond the Tyler Perry. I would sit there and enjoy African movies.
What about
all
the
day.
African ones? What gets you about it?
Yeah. And
I
which
don't
ones? Give us a
know.
few titles. You got
Just
Okay,
the
so
spear.
it's this really good. I think they took it off, but it was God Calling. It was a great storyline. It was about this lady. She lost her daughter, and she was just up in the mud. And she was like, "Okay, I'm done. I don't care. I'm just still going to use drugs." And da 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 da. And then she figured out that she had purpose, and God called her for real, to be a missionary. And she went and did her thing, and she was happily ever after. And I was like, "That is." It's the tradition that they have, and the values that they bring.
Did God, when he was talking to her in the movie, have like an African accent?
You know
Daughter,
what? When he called
You
herself,
you want to go
This is your purpose.
and preach to the world.
This is your purpose, daughter.
Grab your spear too.
he probably did.
Grab your spear is crazy. Like, that is insane. Grab the spear is wild.
I'm going to help you with it. Throw it like a javelin.
Fufu, go get the lion.
Fufu is the food.
Oh my God.
Listen, and this is why you need to go before the throne on her behalf. Fufu, okay, that is the
I was about
food.
to say.
Food is
Please
delicious.
continue.
I'm sorry
Yes,
to throw you off of your
I
train of thought.
relaxed. Like right now, today, earlier, and I was like, yeah, I think I got to do it. I definitely got to watch this African movie tonight because I seen it on Instagram. Because on Prime Video, they have like Prime Naija. And I'm like, yeah, this one just came on. I'm about to watch it. Give me some popcorn, my little ginger ale, and be all right.
Don't drink that one.
This joke is.
The second part of that, how long does it take me? I would say dependent on the severity of the session. So what I do is I'll have like a 30-minute session, 60, and then I have what's called a deep tissue session. And that's a real gut-wrenching soul
Like
session.
that. I need that.
How long is that
So
one?
Is 90 minutes?
It can vary from like 2 hours to 4.
I need that.
Friend, I'm gonna have
Can
to
you
come
book
check.
me? I need that.
Yeah, because when you're,
come
it's a
tell you.
difference between me just sitting in front of the therapist and talking for 60 minutes and then, okay, nice, you gotta go. See you
Yeah,
next
because at
week.
that 55-minute mark, they be like,
Baby, listen, we be looking.
Did you see
So when do you want to book your next session?
So when do you want to book?
Do we still want to do 2 weeks or 1 week? All right, if my time up, just tell me that.
As we wrap
They
this
would be
up,
looking at that clock like, yeah, we there. But when you're doing soul spiritual healing,
Yeah.
you pull back so much. It's so exhausting. And more so for the individual that I'm having a session with. So sometimes you don't even remember what happened, and then it'll come up and you'll just ramble and keep talking. And I'm like, okay, well, you got it out. What else you need to talk about? Like, is there anything else? And sometimes they last really long because what I believe in, deliverance comes after that. Yeah. So
You can't put a time.
so you can't put never put a time on that. You don't ever want somebody to get to the point to where they're finally free and be like,
All
"See you
right,
next
wrap
week."
it up.
Yeah, you did great. Cry again next week in front of me. I can't do that. I'm not built like that.
I like that.
So I'll sit and I'm like, let's go. If you're willing, I'm willing. Let's go. So if it's like if it's a deep tissue session, it may take me like 2 days to recover from that because the weight of it, the weight, it takes me a moment to get out of it because I'm like, God.
And you recover with African movies,
African movies, my
popcorn,
little chocolate
and ginger
one.
ale.
African movies, popcorn, ginger ale, and my little
ale.
one.
Now, did she
I'm
like the
telling
African movies too?
She hates them. Doesn't want anything to do with them.
it's like me when I was raised
Okay,
watching
she
Color
doesn't want
Purple
anything
The
to do with it.
stories,
and the Roots.
the root.
No, Roots.
You're
like
traumatized. I can
Man.
tell.
I watched.
I may need to book this
I watched
one.
everything. Yeah, is this your business phone? What you got
No,
for
but
Tuesday?
We'll get
What?
to that at the end.
What you
of
got for
this episode.
Tuesday?
Tuesday is crazy.
Because this joker didn't quit and she going bananas. So we gotta get her
I
together.
quit.
She getting high from the ginger ale.
I'm trying to figure this
She don't
out.
know what
She on
she
that
got
Tyrone.
going
I
on.
think it's sugar or something.
Something is going
I got
on.
a question though.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
For those people who are like you but without the degree, meaning there's a lot of people like myself, people naturally come to me and share their problems and issues, and I've always been that soundboard for people because they trust me. And I dealt with personally people coming to me with suicide thoughts and me talking them off the ledge and different things of that nature. So
Can you coach her though with that? Because last week we found
Yeah,
out.
do not call her. She verbatim said, "I'm going to tell you, maybe that's what you should do."
Coach her.
She needs strict. Maybe this isn't the field for her.
It's just about having a little grace.
listen.
That's all.
Let me tell you something.
Sometimes you need a hardcore.
Listen, it was time I had been speaking softly.
Sometimes
I
you
had
need a
been
hardcore
whispering
All
the
right,
tones.
just continue with your question because I already know what you want to do. Just
'Cause-
continue with your question, please.
Okay, so what would you say for those people who are that soundboard without that license? What do you tell them? What's your advice for those type of people?
So I would ask a question first.
Go ahead.
So my first question to anybody, especially you right now, because you said it.
Right.
What is your belief?
Of what?
Spirituality.
I believe in Jesus.
So if you would give me that answer, I would let you know that is a gifting that you have. So because of spiritual counseling and spiritual help, what we do in our business life is actually what we are supposed to be doing purpose-wise, right? It's ministry. Right. So I don't separate ministry and business because this is ministry. I'm still helping. Right. You go to ministry, you want help, right? You're sitting there to learn and to get something to help feed you like vittles. Right. So for you, I would say pursue it. Pursue it. Find a listen, you can't shake it. People are gonna constantly come up to her and spill the beans. It's gonna happen. It's a part of your DNA that he gave to you. It's something that you need. It's something that you have that they need that I may not be able to say. You're direct. I may be indirect with what I need to say to this person.
Right, that's why I told him
You
just
may-
to go ahead and do it.
You may get it across better. I may be too quiet about it. But because of what's on the inside of you, it's a light that's drawing people to come and sit and be like, hey, Yeah, I mean, if you had those encounters, like when you go to Walmart and people just walk up to you and talk to you for 30 years.
My God, today.
I'm telling you, that's the thing. I didn't know that I was supposed to be in counseling until after that happened.
It's like I got a stamp on my head. I would just wanted a tomato.
Why pick me? I don't want to hear nothing right now. I just want some chips.
I just was going to get the tomato.
Try.
And then I found some about the whole life story.
That's a sign.
Just
it's a signal.
Okay, but not me. Go ahead now. Tell them people.
But no, right. if it's not her and if it's you, that is a signal that is a part of your purpose. So I would say find resources. There's so many free things out here, especially where we are. Listen, I got a lot of what I needed from CEUs going to the library. They have a whole program.
With CEUs?
CEUs is like continued education unit. So even if you have a degree or if you don't, you can get certified in these things that will last up to 7 years and you can actually help somebody. You're doing physical therapy, right? Or what are you?
Respiratory therapy.
Respiratory. You can go on there.
Therapies on the weekend.
No, I do not.
This past weekend.
No, I do not. But I didn't know that because, I have a psych degree too. And I didn't know, well, I know you could get certified and other stuff, but I don't know why I never thought about doing that, like on a serious note.
You don't even have, I mean, I'm not dwindling going to college, but it's so many free resources. Majority of what I have is because of CEUs through the library.
And I can be that certified such and such, certified this, certified that.
Because these life coaches degrees is getting passed around like candy.
The life coach's degrees is getting out of control.
I don't want that.
I'm over it.
It's getting out of control.
I don't want to coach nobody's life.
I'm sitting there looking at it like, I seen your life. I'm not impressed.
I'm trying to coach my own. I don't want to coach yours.
Free resources. You just got to look. Or have somebody actually be a mouthpiece and say, here you go. Here's the direction you need to go in. Because as I got older, I realized college wasn't for me. I didn't need to be there.
College is the biggest ripoff in the world.
I didn't really need to be there.
Unless it's in the medical field or something like engineering or something like that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But outside of that, oh my goodness.
I didn't need to be there. I would have just went the way that I should have been that I'm on now and did it through ministry, through my church, seminary school. I would have went there and then got whatever I needed to there and got my titles or whatever. Didn't need to do it. And then now that I have a daughter, I'm thinking like, okay, don't force that on her.
Yeah.
Give her other avenues.
Path may be different. I love that Black brown community. We get this education. Kudos to the people that's degreed up. I love it. But what if that's not for them?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? She wants to be a gymnast. I can't force college down her throat. She'll get there if that's what she desires. But going back to you, resources, follow those resources. Find where you can get it for free or find somebody that you really confide in that you know is living what they're talking about. Because there be some weird folk out here 100%. That will pull you in to make you feel like you can confide in them. And, oh, yeah, I'm this coach. And they be off behind the scenes. For real, for real.
So let me ask you this. What have you ever been in a season or in a time in which you had nothing to say? And if so...
You could have warned me. I wasn't ready. Y'all got good questions.
And if so, what did you do?
Oh, my gosh. Ask me again so I can make sure that I heard you right.
Have you ever been in a season in which you had nothing to say? Like you've been like sometimes you could be a person where it seems like you have all the answers or you know the go-to, I can help him do this. But then that same situation comes up and you're just at a certain season. It's like you're struggling to find words. You're struggling to find a way, and it's like, I got nothing. And it's not that you mean you could be tapped out, you could be drained, or you just could need refilled. It could be a number of things, but have you ever been in a...
I have, and I never thought about it being draining. That is something that I need to work on, actually. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But it's more so been with people that haven't listened. Once you get the information... No. And because I believe who's backing me with the information, I know that it's good. Yeah. Right? So after a certain amount of times when they come back and they haven't relied on what was given, he'll shut me down. Mm-hmm. And he'll be like, don't answer, don't say, don't do anything. And I'm like, but they're suffering. Like, help them. Like, just give them something. He's like, if you be disobedient, something will happen for you. And I'm like, dang, I can't help you today, bruh. And I know a lot of I'm so sorry, siblings, but y'all know I'm real. I got to tell the truth. A lot of my siblings have felt it this past year. Mm-hmm. I've had to pull all the way back. And they're like, Fat, you missing it. Like, what's going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, I can't give you anything else. And it was hard for me because I'm a giver. My love language is encouragement. So when he shuts me down, I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I don't know anything else. I don't like being affectionate and all like that unless it's with my little one. So I've had to just trust and rely on the seeds that have been planted. So if we had 5 sessions together and I've given you your tools and your information, even if you're coming back asking the same thing and he shut me down and not say anything to you, I have to be calm and be like, okay, that seed, it will sprout. It may not be in a year. It may take 10 years for them to water that seed. But when that seed is in there, when he's deposited, it has to grow because he's all about life. But I do get shut down more so now than when I didn't know that I had my gifting for mental health. When I didn't know, I was giving it out like water. You get help. You get help. You get help. You come get help.
You
like
won't
just
get
come
help.
on. Praying for people, just being tapped out. I'm just going. Like, what did you say you had a dream about? I can interpret that for you. Yeah, come here. Bring your friend. She needs help. Yeah, just come on. And I would just be giving. And I'm like, I can't do that no more. Wisdom. Wisdom. Because I was being disobedient, but I didn't know it. I was just like, God, you want me to help people, so I got to help. He was like, no, I need you to shut up sometimes. Just be quiet.
That's good.
That's good stuff.
I like it.
It's a question. How much time we got? Where we at?
56.
That's good timing. This is a question I like asking a lot of people that come onto the show. These crumb snatchers have already answered it. But it's a good one. I love it, though.
What disease is that? It's a mental illness, isn't it?
What is
it?
What is?
What is it? You always got to
I
talk
love
about it.
DJ. I can't
Hold on,
know.
listen. So, here's the question. So, you are you're a mother to your daughter. You are
Well, I like this
a
question.
friend to your friends. You are a daughter to your mom.
Hi, Mommy.
You are a giver to your friends and family.
friends and
You are
sister
the
to your
encourager,
siblings.
sister to your siblings, encourager to the masses.
Oh, gosh.
Who are
Thank
you
you.
for you?
I love that. That is a beautiful question. That is really nice. And very thoughtful, might I add. I don't think I've ever been asked that. Who am I to me? Does it have to be a character
Who are you
trait
for
or
you?
or who am
are
I for
you?
me?
For you.
I'm
Who is
bubbly.
Shavaughn
I'm
for
bubbly
Shavaughn?
for me.
Okay.
Like really deep down inside, I love laughing and being goofy. So when I need to pull on that outside of just being mommy, but sister, sibling, mental health, whatever, I'm happy for me. You know what I mean? Like that unspeakable joy, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
It really is a real thing. So being charismatic, I can always, that's something that I don't have to play on either. Because I could just whip it on in front of somebody and be like, yeah, hi, how you doing? I love you so much.
Oh, I can't stand that.
And then you can go and be but daily, just being bubbly and goofy, that's me for real. I am that. I'm like that joy. So I would just say I'm joy. Is that a good answer?
It
That's a great
Is
answer.
that right?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Because what
It's
did y'all
crazy.
say? Because I gotta make
It's
sure.
crazy.
I gotta make sure.
What did we say?
You are joy for you.
I am
You
joy for
pull
you.
on
Yes, that's
your
good.
joy when you need to pull on your
I
joy.
pull that joy,
That's
that
it.
thing. It makes
Yeah,
me
that's
happy.
good.
Yeah.
I got 2 more questions and then we will get up out of here.
Okay.
Y'all got it? Don't matter. So,
What is it? That's a mental illness.
As a
That's the alpha male.
as a black woman in this field, is it hard for you as a black woman in this field?
Yes. And I'm only saying that because spiritual counseling is so much different from therapy and counseling. So like I said earlier, that 55 minutes ticking, you're done. For me, because I hold everything near and dear, it's so much more serious. And it's a little harder because people will be very judgmental. You know what I mean? And without having the knowledge and experience to help somebody with their soul healing, you can make it seem as if you're just trying to be better. I'm not trying to top anything that anybody has done. I'm just being me using a gift.
Yeah.
Right. So I do get a lot of other therapists or counselors like, well, who she thinks she is? You know, she trying to take away from the fact that we're just doing mind work. And I'm like, it's not. I promise you it's not. Everybody that I have ever encountered in my life, they have had trauma. And nobody in my field really wants to dig that deep.
Yeah.
Because it's all about money. It's all about the check. It's not about somebody's salvation. It's not about anybody's soul. And when I figured that out, I was like, you stepping into an arena where you're going to get attacked. So it sets myself up to be like, oh, she's trying to be better.
Yeah.
Which I am. Because I'm trying to better the human race by actually getting to the problems. The stuff we hide in our basement, that's really what's offsetting us instead of just what's up here. Because I could tell you what's in my mind all day long without going into my past and letting you see the real me or hear anything that I've experienced. And that can be cool. And you can pay me for that through your insurance, and I say, have a nice day, and then you come back. Right. But when I ask you, have you been raped? Have you been molested? Have you seen your mother homeless? Have you seen your sibling A, B, C, and D? Nobody asks us that question. Nobody wants to get there because people don't honestly, genuinely care about somebody's soul, right? So when they hear that that's what's going on with the comfy couch, they're like, no. So it makes it kind of hard, but I don't care. I care not.
The couch is still comfy.
Shavaughn, thanks for coming on to the podcast.
I love you guys. Thank you for being my first podcast.
The
pod.
Comfy Couch.
Before I get mad.
Now, give us your where can the people find you at?
You asked me that again. Yeah, I didn't even.
That was on the last episode.
Nobody knows
this one.
Instagram and TikTok at the Comfy Couch LLC 1, the number 1, and on Facebook just solely at the Comfy Couch.
Period.
That's it.
Facebook, TikTok.
You're right.
Instagram.
That's what you said.
She soon gonna be on YouTube.
Spotify.
She gonna be on Spotify. Jesus. She gonna be on what's the new one?
Apple
what's
Music.
the new one? Threads.
Yeah,
Whatever it is. She could be on Thread.
Apple
you can find her there. Is there anywhere else you're counseling through your place of business, or are you accepting more clients now?
I am not at the moment. However,
except for me,
depending on the situation, I am open, but I am closed off. But I do virtual.
Okay, you want to give the information?
Virtual, let me clean that up. If you're virtual, I will accept.
Okay.
But if it's in person, I'm shut down.
Okay.
Because I've reached my max.
Okay, so virtual, how can they get in contact with you about that?
Just if you go to any of the pages that I just named, because praise God, I forgot already. You're going to restore my memory. If you go to any of those platforms that I just said, you can message me and it will come to me directly. You will not have to wait. I'm very good at responding. I love it. This is my job. I love to do it. Okay. And we will get the ball rolling.
Nice. Okay, cool beans.
Or you can email me at thecomfycouchllc@gmail.com.
Look at him.
You see, he brought it back.
Stored your memory
The
that
Comfy
fast.
Couch.
The Comfy Couch
LLC.
No one, just The Comfy Couch LLC @gmail.com. See, you got
email, phone number, or you don't want to give that?
I do got a number.
She got a phone number.
Do I remember it? Because I just got it.
I just got it on the low.
Oh, that's right. Telephone number 330-227-4340.
Run it back.
330-227-4340.
Here, please tap in, go to her pages, follow her pages, like her pages for her content and everything she puts up. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We'll have you on again, 100%.
Aww.
Because we need you to keep these goons in line. Until next time,
sis.
play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain.
Hey,
my outro. Thank you.
It's alpha tendencies.
Ma'am.
It's crazy.
Positive memories, play the moments, stop the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
I'm not pushing that button until I get to say what I want to say.
When I edit it, it's going to be going anyways.
Whatever.
Whoa, wait. Before you cut it off, we just want to take the time to thank you for tuning in to another episode of Blended Views Unfiltered. We want to thank all of our faithful listeners and all of you who have not tuned in faithfully, but you're just now tuning in to all of our nonsense. My man Nick got a message for y'all.
Always remember, if you guys ever wanted to write into the podcast to just tell us about your relationship, ask us any questions, get our advice on everything. This is Blended Views, so we could give you a view that you might not see in your day-to-day relationship. Always remember, write us in at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. That is info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com. I would spell it. I don't know how to spell all of those words. So let's just keep it at info@blendedviewsunfiltered.com.
And he's not lying. Y'all know he struggles with that. So after y'all get done with all of that boring stuff and you want to just write in and tell me how delicious I look, make sure that you follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
And don't forget, we are streaming on all streaming platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at. Make sure you tune in, subscribe to every single channel as we release content every single week. Until next time, play the moments, positive memories, stop the pain, and keep the happiness on repeat. Peace.
Bye.